We're not fighting off vampires here, you know? Today we are going to food prep our souls away. We are prepping so many things just to set us up for a great productive week or couple of weeks. My intention today is to make so much stuff that I can put like a quarter to half of it in the freezer for later. Let's get into it because we are doing chicken and more chicken. That's a lot of chicken. And rice and potatoes and beans and salad and dressing and things. Like we're going all in. We are doing all kinds of things. So I want to get this done as fast as humanly possible because anybody got time to be in the kitchen for like 6 hours? Do you know what I mean? So let's get into it. We are going to start with our chicken, of course, because it's going to take the longest. So let's get all of this stuff going and go from there. So I'm going to take our whole chicken and I'm going to throw it into our air fryer and let it cook at 370 degrees for 60 minutes. So here's the way I like to cook a whole chicken in the air fryer. I like to cook it for 10 minutes per pound. So our chicken today is approximately 6 pounds. So I'm going to cook her for 50 minutes at 370 degrees, breast side down. And then I'm going to flip her. She will be breast side up and I'm gonna cook it another 10 minutes and then I'm going to let it rest at room temperature so all those juices have a chance to settle and do all the beautiful things. You'll see. Let's throw our chicken in the air fryer. We're going to preheat our oven because we have some delicious things going in there and we're moving on. While our oven is preheating and our beautiful whole chicken is cooking away in the air fryer, I want to get our black beans going. So this is going to be fast and dirty, like nothing to think about. I have approximately 2 pounds of black beans that I soaked for a couple of days. I meant to do just one, but time got away from me and I couldn't cook them on, the following day. So here we are. So these guys have soaked in filtered water. I have washed and rinsed them. Everyone's good to go. So I am literally going to do just this. I'm gonna put the beans in our Instant Pot cooking situation here, or Instant pot, and I'm going to add filtered water until I cover the beans by about 1 inch. And then I'm gonna throw them in our Instant Pot and they're gonna cook on pressure for 25 to 30 minutes. And that should be good for these guys. So beans, plain beans, water. And now I'm heading over to my Instant Pot, which is right there. and I'm gonna get these guys going, so let's do it. Moving right along to the next step, we have our beautiful whole chicken going in the air fryer. We have our black beans in the Instant Pot right behind us. And now we're moving on to some beautiful potatoes. So these potatoes are herb roasted potatoes. I get the herbs right from the garden. What? She's a farmer. She's not. So for this recipe, I am using 8 medium to large Yukon Gold potatoes. These are my absolute favorites. I'm obsessed. They're so good because they're kind of like buttery and just all the things. You can make these as small or as large as you want. Just know the larger you make them, the longer it's gonna take for them to cook. And that is perfectly fine unless you're in a rush, and then, you know, make them smaller. All right, our potatoes are nice and cut up. So the next thing I'm gonna do is add my herbs. So these are just herbs that I picked yesterday because I fully intended to do all of this food prep yesterday, and it just didn't work out. So they've been sitting in the fridge overnight. They look a little sad and wilty, but they're gonna taste delicious, I promise you. And you know, no one's afraid of a little wilted herb here, you know? No one. So all I'm doing is running my finger down the stem of each little herb situation and just pulling the leaves off. And if I get a little bit of the stem, it's fine. Everything is going to be finely chopped up with my knife, so I'm not too worried about it. There is nothing like fresh herbs in your recipes. Now that I am like growing them on my own, I am so happy, and I want to put them in everything. If I could put them into chocolate milk and make it taste good, I promise you I would do it. So with my herbs mostly taken off the stems, I'm just gonna give these guys like a rough chop. I want just really small pieces that are gonna blend in well with my potatoes and not like take over. And what I mean by that is like, I don't want enormous like rosemary leaves, because no one wants that. Also, like, I feel like such a pro chef when I do things like this, like that rock with the knife. I just feel amazing. All right, so I'm gonna take my herbs, I'm gonna throw them right onto my potatoes. This is so ridiculously easy. I hope you make this all the time. I really do. Okay, next up is half of an onion. So I'm just using I think it's a Vidalia onion. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Whatever you have, just use it. And then these little onion ribbons are gonna go right into the potatoes, get all mixed in. So I'm just going to do this and make sure they're nice and separated. And then we're moving on to the good stuff. So I have my cookie sheet here with some parchment paper. I have my beautiful Yukon Gold potatoes, the herbs that I just finely chopped up like a rock star, and my thin little onion ribbons. So to this, I'm gonna add a drizzle of olive oil. You can add any oil that you would like. I love using the olive oil. The flavor is just so beautiful and rich. And I'm just using like a couple of drizzles. 2 and like a little pinch. That's all I did. I don't want this to be oily in any way. The oil is just to help the spices stick to the potatoes and to help the potatoes get like a little extra crispy, but we do not want this swimming in oil. We're not trying to fry our potatoes. It's not that day. So I'm going to add the same spices that I added to my chicken. So this is just a blend of turmeric powder, garlic powder, pink salt, and freshly ground black pepper. It is a mix that I am loving so much. You know I love the salt and the pepper and the garlic and the turmeric, especially the turmeric. And when you mix the turmeric with ground black pepper, the pepper helps to activate the beautiful benefits of the turmeric. So any little bit of extra help we can get, we want it. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna sprinkle, and I would say I'm probably gonna go in right around like a tablespoon, because I want all the flavor. And I'm just sprinkling, I am not measuring. You know me. Maybe more than a tablespoon. It's fine, it's fine. But I'm gonna go right in with my hands. I'm gonna mix all of this up, and then it's time to put this in the oven. This is a really good time to make sure your potatoes are separated. No one is like sticking together. You want everything, including the herbs and the onions, to be nice and coated in the olive oil and the seasonings, because everybody needs to come out of that beautiful sauna, that oven, that vacation on the sun, nice and crispy and flavorful and all the beautiful things. Look at how pretty this color is. Like, turmeric just adds the most gorgeous color. Unless it has stained your clothes, and then maybe not so beautiful. So everyone is nice and coated. I'm just gonna spread these guys out on the cookie sheet and make sure they're as flat as they can be. So our potatoes are gonna go into the oven. They're gonna cook at 425 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm gonna check on them at the 30-minute mark and see how they're doing, and we'll go from there. Next up on our list is our beautiful chicken thighs that we seasoned up this morning. So like our whole chicken, these guys have had some time, just like a few hours, to really get to know their seasonings and become one and become very, very friendly. So I'm going to throw them into this casserole dish. This is a 9x11, something like that. And I am going to roast them in the oven along with our potatoes. So 2 birds, 1 stone, you know? So I'm going to put these guys skin side up, and they're gonna cook in there for about the same amount of time. I'm gonna check them at the 30-minute mark and see how they're doing and cook them longer if they need it. So nice, so nice. So easy peasy. These guys are going into the oven for at least 30 minutes, and then we're moving on. The next thing on our list is ground chicken. So I wasn't lying when I said chicken, chicken, chicken. Yes, chicken. So for our ground chicken, I'm going to prep by dicing up an onion, and this is just a medium-sized onion, and 1 poblano pepper. So these are just gonna give it some extra yummy flavor and all the beautiful things. Our onion and our beautiful poblano are nice and diced up and ready to go. So I am going to hit the pan, get these guys cooking for 8 to 10 minutes until they are nice and translucent and cooked all the way down, and then we're gonna move on from there. To get my beautiful ground chicken going, I'm throwing a little bit of olive oil in a pan. I have this set on medium, which for me is a 5 out of 10. I'm adding my gorgeous diced onions and poblano pepper, hitting that with a little dash of pink salt just to help everything sweat. These guys are gonna cook for about 8 to 10 minutes until everything is nice, tender, and translucent. And then I'm throwing in 2 pounds of ground chicken. To my ground chicken, I am adding some of my turmeric blend, some chili powder, a little ground cumin, and another hit of salt to give everything some really great flavor. I'm mixing everything up, and I'm gonna let this cook, and then we're moving on. And before we do, I'm checking our potatoes. These guys are not quite done yet, so I am turning everyone around, just giving them a little spin, and back in the oven they go. I've checked my chicken as well, but she is not ready either, so we're moving on. I added 1 frozen cube of garlic to our ground chicken. Now I'm adding a couple of teaspoons of tomato paste just to really amplify all the flavors, giving everything a really good mix. And then this is where the stewed part comes in. I'm adding a cup of vegetable broth. I'm gonna mix that all in, and then I'm gonna let this cook until the majority of that beautiful vegetable broth is cooked out. This is really going to make our ground chicken nice and tender and just moist and super flavorful. So here our gorgeous chicken is done. Look at how beautiful and crispy she is and golden from that just delicious turmeric blend. And oh my God, I wish you could smell how amazing it smells in here. It's so good. Right on time. Our beautiful potatoes are done. They're so nice and crispy. When I tell you These guys are delicious. Oh my God, believe me, they are so delicious. Next up, our beautiful chicken thighs. So super crispy. I mean, I usually make these guys in the air fryer, but they are giving in the oven. I mean, look at how pretty they are. I cannot help myself. I can't. And then our ground chicken, she is done. There's still a little bit of moisture in there, some sauce, which is perfect. That's exactly the way I want it. This way, when I reheat it later, there's still moisture in there and it doesn't dry out. We are good to go. And then our beautiful beans. So I am just now realizing that I didn't stir the beans to show you, but they came out so perfect. I am beyond happy. We are making such great progress. I am like over the moon happy. So the things that we can check off of our list are as follows. Our beautiful golden crispy air fried whole chicken. Our herbed potatoes have come out of the oven and they are looking so gorgeous. Our chicken thighs have also come out of the oven. Our ground chicken is done and she is just nice and tender with all the, I'm getting away from myself. And then our beautiful black beans are complete. So next up, we're moving on to our wild rice. I have 2 cups of our wild rice blend and I gave this a really good wash just to get out the extra starches and all the things. So I'm going to throw this into my Instant Pot insert, and that is how we're going to make this magic happen because, yes, Instant Pot. To this, I'm going to add 3.5 cups of our Kettle and Fire vegetable broth. I love this vegetable broth so much, and 3.5. So to our rice, I'm gonna add just a little splash of olive oil, and this is just to help things from sticking. Hopefully it's not gonna stick to the bottom. You know, we're not working with non-stick here, so we're gonna do the best we can. So I'm gonna give this a stir, and then I'm gonna throw this in the pressure cooker and let it cook for 30 minutes, and then I'll just let it slow release for 10, and then finish with a manual release after that. And hopefully our rice will be done. So while our wild rice blend is cooking away in the Instant Pot, I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to make a couple of dressings. So in advance of prepping our salad greens, I'm gonna make 2 dressings, one for our salad, and then I'm gonna make a light little marinade situation for our wild rice blend just to give it some extra flavor. So the first dressing I wanna make today, which is gonna be for the salad, is gonna be like a honey mustard of sorts, except I'm going to do it with tahini. So I am using raw tahini, and this is just sesame seed butter. I get this at Whole Foods. It is so delicious. So I do about 2 parts tahini to, 1 part everything else. Just to your taste, whatever it is that you want. So I have a giant heaped tablespoon right there, which is probably like 2 or 3 tablespoons. And I'm gonna do another heap like that. So to this, I'm gonna add our Dijon mustard. You can use any mustard you want. This one does not have the grains in it. So, again, whatever you want to use, the world is yours. So that's about a tablespoon. And I'll do the same with the honey. Actually, I went extra with the honey because I like it to be a little sweet. So to this, I'm gonna add some filtered water. And then I'm gonna stir, and I will balance the flavors out to my liking as I go. So that's probably 1/4 of a cup of water. So I'll mix all this up. And it's gonna feel rough at first, like it's clumpy, but just trust the process. She'll come together. All right, so I'm gonna give this just a little taste, see what we're working with. Good, good. So I'm gonna add a little more Dijon and a little more honey and a little more water. A little more of everything except the tahini. So that tahini flavor is really strong, and this is a raw tahini, which I find to be pretty strong. So just a couple of drops of the mustard. And a couple of good-sized drops of the honey. A little more water. And stir away. Oh yeah, that is good stuff. So this is the consistency. It's nice and runny. This is perfect to put on salad greens, a nice beautiful salad with a bunch of different lettuce greens, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, whatever. So delicious, so delicious. So dressing one done. So the next little dressing is gonna be for our wild rice blend, and it's just to add some flavor, some depth of flavor. So I think this is the perfect way to do it. So to make this, I just wanna do something really simple. So I have some herbs here. I have some thyme and fresh basil. I have garlic, 1 lemon, some salt, pepper, and some olive oil. So we are going to get into making our situation here. So I'm just gonna do 1 garlic clove. Fresh garlic is very, very strong. So I may even do half of this because this is a larger clove. You know, we're not fighting off vampires here, you know. And again, I'm just going right into my mason jar. We don't want to dirty extra stuff. So I'm going to finely dice or chop, however you want to word it, our little herbs here. This is just a nice way to change up rice, so it's not just rice. You know, like there's so much you can do with rice, and I will tell you, I don't even think about it most of the time. I'm just like, oh, rice. So let's get all of these guys nice and chopped up. And again, just doing this, I feel like such a pro. So I'll grab these guys, put them right into our jar, and spill them everywhere, apparently. So I'm gonna use the zest of the entire lemon, and then I'm going to juice it. So I'm first gonna just get it ready for juicing because it's a little on the firm side. The nice thing about adding the lemon juice and the lemon zest after the rice is done is that it's actually going to give it that lemony flavor, and the lemon is not gonna cook out. So there's our zest. Now we're going to juice this beautiful little guy. And try not to get juice in our eyes. The nice thing about adding lemon juice in here is that the acid is going to help to work down the intensity of the fresh garlic, because fresh garlic, ooh, she is strong. So we have our little situation here going, and oh, it smells so good, so good. So I'm going to hit this with some salt and pepper. And then we're going to do some freshly ground black pepper. And then we'll do just a little bit of olive oil. That's about not quite a tablespoon. And I am just going to give everyone a little stir here. Try to get the, there we go, the garlic that's up on the side. And that's it. We don't need a lot. We just want to give it some really good flavor and do it at the end so that it doesn't cook out. Oh God. Let's not get ourselves in the face with this salad dressing. We have finally made it to our salad greens. I am so excited because light at the end of the tunnel, you know? So what I'm going to do is just get our greens all cut up. I'm gonna throw them into our salad spinner, give them a really good wash, and then spin them until they are like as dry as I can possibly get them. This really just saves me so much time. I used to pull all the leaves off and wash them like that, put the leaves in the storage container, and then every time we were gonna eat a salad, I would cut them up, and it was a whole thing, and all it did was keep me from eating salad because I did not want to go through the cutting process and the prep process every single time I wanted to have a salad. So this has been a big game changer for me. I love it so much. We're living our best lives. I like to get different types of greens to just mix it up, get some different vitamins and minerals and just nutrients as a whole. Every lettuce has something different to offer, so it's kind of like eating the rainbow, except all of this is green. But I just want to get as much variety as I can. So I have a red leaf lettuce, this one is a green leaf lettuce, and then I have romaine. So to all of this, I'm gonna add one entire bunch of cilantro because cilantro is like, it's like a miracle. It's a cure-all, if you ask me. So I don't normally have to pull this many leaves off of our lettuce when I am prepping, but I forgot I had this bag like at the back of the fridge, so some of the leaves started to turn, but it is okay. We are here, everyone is doing well. The majority of these lettuce heads are beautiful, so we're solid. And last but not least, our cilantro. This also just adds so much freshness to the salad. It's just so good. If you don't like cilantro, you can do parsley or other herbs. Parsley is another powerhouse. She works miracles. When my greens are in here in the bowl of water, I just like to massage gently. I don't want to bruise these leaves. I just want to move them around to release any dirt that's trapped in there. This is what our beautiful water looks like. You can't see it, but there is a lot of sand at the bottom. Our salad greens are nice and clean now, and they are ready to be spun dry. So that's what I'm gonna do. I cannot recommend this salad spinner enough. I used to have one of the manual ones that you just like spin the, I mean, this is manual too. You know what I mean. That you would just like spin the little thing and it like, this, OXO. I will link it down below. It is my all-time favorite. I love it so much. I am an aggressive greens dryer. I will go and go because I want to make sure my greens are as dry as possible. Moisture is the enemy of your greens. The enemy. Oh yes. And look at all that water. Can you see that? Right out of here. If we had not done that, that would have just stayed on our beautiful lettuce leaves and it would have made them get all moldy and gross really fast. So our greens are done. These guys are ready to go into a storage container. Our rice is almost done. The timer went off, so now it is just doing a slow release for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna do manual, and then we are ready to look at all our beautiful, delicious food. We're almost there. Hang tight. Rice is finally done, so it is definitely a little more moist than I had anticipated, but I have never made wild rice in the Instant Pot, so I definitely could have stood to use less veggie broth when I made it, but it's okay. You live and you learn, you know? And I bet it is still going to be very delicious. So I am still going to mix in our little marinade or dressing that we made because it's gonna give it so much beautiful flavor. Beautiful flavor. So we're just gonna mix that in. Make sure it's mixed through. Oh my God, it smells so good. So good. So you can see how moist it is. It's a little bit sticky, but it's okay. It is going to be delicious. So that is it. We did it. We succeeded. I am so incredibly happy. So if you're keeping score, let's go back down our list, okay? We made our air fryer whole chicken, or our whole chicken in the air fryer. We made our beautiful roasted herbed potatoes, our roasted chicken thighs. We prepped our salad greens. We made black beans. We made our ground chicken. We made, what am I missing? Our dressing, so our salad dressing. We made our dressing for our rice, and of course our wild rice blend. I am so happy. We have food for days. We have food to put in the freezer, which is my ultimate favorite. I love it. I love it so much. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and hanging in the kitchen with me. I am ready to devour some of this food and just do all the beautiful things. If you like this video, and I really hope that you did, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe, and you click that notification bell, because all of that really supports my channel and it means the world to me. Thank you so much for spending your beautiful time with me. I will see you next time.